back. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
Diamond Dog.
Yeah. That's David Bowie, right? Well, it's good that we get a little David Bowie on doing Diamond Dogs.
The late, great David Bowie.
Yeah, it's been a tough month for musicians. Glenn Fry, you know, all these...
Celine's husband.
Celine's husband and their brother, what, 2 days later?
Yep.
Yeah, it's terrible. Boomer Life, and we're losing some boomers, I guess. They would be the classic boomers. Boomer Life on CL 650. We're talking about pet health and pet care and about their oral health. And Rhonda Hebert is here from Pampered Pets Ultrasonic. And, you know, extending the life of your pet is very important. But you must see so many clients coming in with so many different types of dogs. But there must be certain trends that you see. Like, what are people doing wrong with their pet that you could give them some advice? And what are they maybe doing right with their pet?
Food
Yeah.
is the number one. Food is classified A, B, C, and D foods. D foods are the quickly processed ones that have lots of color. You've seen them before. They have the red pellets. They have green pellets. I can't name the brand. You've seen them with all these different colors and all that kind of stuff. That is basically junk food for dogs.
Right.
The ones with the
and
whole
do they like it? They
ingredients.
like to eat it, though,
They
right?
love to eat it.
Yeah. It's like,
they love to eat
it's
it.
like eating
it's
honeycomb
like
every morning, right? Yeah.
McDonald's every day, all their life. The good foods have limited ingredients and no grains. Grains are something that's introduced into a dog's system. How is a dog, 300 years ago going to produce or go through and digest a loaf of bread?
Right.
It's not in their vocabulary. It's not in their dietary requirements. And if a dog doesn't get sugar, it won't get cavities. I've probably seen 5 cavities in my career. Because dogs, if they don't get sugar, they don't get cavities.
And you do see some people making mistakes in giving their dogs chocolate, which they're not
Yeah,
supposed
well,
to eat.
a lot that's become widely known now. A lot
Yeah.
of people know to buy dogs their specific chocolate. There's carob chocolate that you can get for
And
dogs.
then the other one is cheese. Is like
cheese is fine.
it's okay.
Cheese is fine. Cheese is from an animal. Cheese
Right.
is dairy.
It's
from
dairy,
an
right.
animal. So
Makes
when
them gassy, though. I know that.
it can make them gassy, but that's one way I trick the dogs into taking their little pills. I stuff it in a piece of cheese.
Oh.
Any kind of meats, any kind of vegetable. If you feed your dog cauliflower, broccoli, those kinds of things, dip it in a little bit of cheese. Cheese is good for them.
And can you tell the kind of diet the dog is on by looking at their teeth?
Yes, and by cutting their nails. Their nails, I check. I have done this before. I've checked the coat, and I didn't like the look of the coat. I've clipped one nail to see if the nail shatters or if it comes off in one piece. If it shatters, the dog's not getting enough calcium and nutrients in their diet. So I generally say, you need to switch foods because your dog's not getting its dietary requirements.
So my dog is going to be 5 in May, and he's been on the same brand of adult dog food ever since he went off the puppy stuff. Is it okay to just keep feeding them the same stuff, or do they need a change?
Does your dog have any problems with his fur?
No, nothing. He's perfectly healthy.
Nice and shiny coat. Obviously, he's 5 and his teeth are good, except for 2 canines. You're doing all the right things.
Okay, good to know. And so those A-list pet foods are not inexpensive. I know my big bag of this stuff that I buy is almost $100, right? It's not inexpensive. But so people buy the D-list stuff because it's less expensive. So what do you say to those people that want to save a few bucks?
Well, they're again, back to Bosley's, my favorite place.
That's where I get the Ancana, by the way.
They have this system set up where you buy 9 bags and you get the 10th bag free.
Yeah.
So things like that where you can save a buck here and there, it's worth to get your dog on a decent food. Otherwise, you're paying dental bills, you're paying other kinds of problems. It'll develop skin problems, it'll develop yeast from the bread. All kinds of things can develop from a bad diet.
Okay. Now, what are your thoughts on this natural food diet for dogs?
Raw?
Raw, uncooked.
If you have the time to prepare and feed your dog raw food, like the cooking and the preparing and the cleaning up after it, because that's what gets the dog is salmonella, the poisoning from it. If you have the dedication to feed your dog raw, that is the most wonderful way to go, because that's how dogs ate and lived.
Yeah, but they can't. If they get ill, sometimes they can't get them back, right?
Right, because that's why I said you have to be diligent in the care of the raw meat. You got to freeze it properly. You got to take care of it properly. You got to do everything to make sure your dog is getting the optimum out of its raw food. And everything with the dog's health, the skin, the coat, everything, because they put the bone in, they ground the bone in, it's ground in meal, and the bone is used for everything to reinforce all their joints and ligaments.
Really? Now, when you go into a place like Bosley, it's a doggy wonderland, and there's all of these pets and treats and toys that are up and down the aisles. Now, just like us, you shouldn't be eating hamburgers and fries for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm sure there's some treats that are for dogs that are just that. They're a treat. They shouldn't be eaten all the time. So as somebody who looks at oral care, are there some things that we're giving our dogs as treats or toys that are harming their teeth? And are there certain treats and toys that can help their teeth?
One of the biggest things I found is tennis balls. Everybody loves to play tennis with their dog.
Right.
The dog runs after the ball comes back. Well, those little grains of fuzz from a tennis ball, I've seen how they can get caught in between the teeth. If you play tennis ball with your dog, you got to check the teeth really often to make sure that the stuff isn't getting stuck in there. And as for positives, the one thing I like is bones. I like bones where they have to use their front teeth to get at the marrow and to dig in. I like bones where they have to hold the side, like bully sticks where they have to hold the side and then they floss their teeth while they're chewing on their
But they should always be raw, right?
No, bully sticks are dehydrated.
Oh, I see what you mean, like the dry ones, yeah.
Yes.
But when you're going for like a marrow bone, it should be raw.
Yes.
Because when they're cooked, that's when they splinter, right?
Yes. And what you do with the like, say you give your dog like almost like a roast-sized bone to work on. It's got front teeth problems. Give it to him for an hour, and then the dog will get bored with it. Take it, wash it on cold water, stick it in the freezer, leave it in the freezer for 24 hours, and give it back to him again.
Yeah. Our dog, he gets marrow bones regularly.
Yeah, and just freeze it and give it back to him again.
Do you know who loves the marrow bones? The crows in the neighborhood.
Oh.
As soon as he's away, they're right in there picking away at it. Oh yeah, and then they go and they poop on my car.
Yes.
Yeah. Crows. They're smart though. They know.
They are. They know exactly.
They come around. They go, "Oh, is he done with that bone? Because I'm gonna go in."
And has he freshly washed that car?
Yeah. Well, they always think, "Oh, that's a shiny car. Let's go poop on that one."
Exactly.
So, if there's one sort of thing that you could say to people about their pets, we haven't really touched on cats, but with your dog or their pets about oral health, what's the number one thing?
Please check your dog's teeth. Everyone who's out there has a dog can go, oh, I smell something. I don't know what that smell is. Just pull their lip backward and upward a tiny bit, and you have exposure. You can see up to 20 teeth that way, and you'll be able to tell whether your dog needs my services or not.
And what do you see?
You see calculus, you see gray. If you see green, it's not flattering. Green is not flattering in a mouth, and that's usually a sign of really intense buildup of tartar. You know, if you see that kind of stuff, none of those colors are flattering on the teeth. Teeth are meant to be white and shiny.
And have people made mistakes and used human teeth stuff on dogs?
It doesn't matter. Toothpaste is toothpaste as long as there's no sugar in it. A lot of dog toothpastes have sugar, so I've actually recommended people toothpaste over...
Really?
As long as it doesn't have sugar. Any kind of glycerin isn't good for dogs. You don't introduce sugar to a sugarless dog.
My thing with dogs and eating is that you feed them their food and you don't introduce them to other foods if they don't know what they've got, right?
If they don't know what they're missing, they don't know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so anything with sugar is not the best for us, but certainly not for a dog.
Absolutely.
Okay, so how often should you be in there having a look?
My dog, I probably check her teeth once a month. I get them cleaned every 2 months because, you know,
you can.
Tamara and I can. And it's easier if you do it that often. And the dog's used to it, and she's in and out of there in 5 minutes.
Now, we haven't really touched on the cost here. So if you're going to go to Pampered Pets Ultrasonic for an initial consultation, your very first time, maybe the dog's 3 or 4, what would that roughly cost?
Nothing. I talk for nothing. I examine your dog's teeth. I look at everything. I open the mouth. I tell you everything that's going on in there. I tell you the procedure that I would do to clean the teeth, to floss the teeth, and how I would take care of their dog. And then if they want the teeth cleaned from there, I go from there.
And what would that initial procedure cost?
It can cost anywhere from $175 to $300.
And then the maintenance is less each year?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I just want to ask you a few questions. Who is the most affectionate dog breed?
Labs.
The most affectionate?
I think it's Labs.
Yeah, there's a study here that said Labrador #1, Golden Retriever. And they are related but not related, aren't they? The Lab and the Retriever?
They're both retrievers. They're both hunting dogs. But the one thing that has made Labradors so much more
lovable
is the Labradoodle.
Yes.
Because they've mixed a poodle with a lab, and they come up with these beautiful labradoodles. And I know a guy was selling labradoodles for $5,000 a piece.
Wow. Got to get in that business.
Yep.
Cavalier King Charles Spaniel.
Spaniel, they have long ears. They're usually red and white, and they have big puppy dog eyes with a small little face. They're very affectionate. And
Number
very
4, you'll like this one, Pomeranians.
cute. Yes. And Pomeranians don't have a lot of facial expression, but they do a lot of head tilting.
Ah, so when you say you want to go for a walk, they cock their head to one
Yeah.
side, yeah. What's a Brussels Griffon?
That's the one that won Westminster a couple of years
Oh,
ago.
yeah,
and
yeah,
they'd
yeah.
never won before. They look like a small schnauzer. They're in the schnauzer
the
family.
Schnauzer. And speaking of that, there's wiener dogs.
They're very popular. Again, the elongated snout.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a dog with an elongated snout, all those teeth are out in the open for me. I love it. Collies.
Easy to get at.
Well, they're all right there. They're all out in the front.
So
I don't
pugs
have
are
to go
tricky,
in.
right?
Pugs and Shih Tzus are tough because they're bowling balls.
Right, big bowling balls. Chihuahuas, you said, have become very popular.
Chihuahuas are popular because they're a pocket dog.
Right.
They can go anywhere with you. People have several of them, but they do generally have the worst teeth.
Now, a dog that was super popular years ago, Irish Setter. You don't see many Irish Setters.
Not anymore because they're high energy.
Right.
And you need lots of land, and they get anxious and they need to run.
And collies.
Collies can adapt from having, where in the old days they were sheep herding dogs, that kind of stuff. They can adapt and now be home dogs. I see lots of collies, especially the black and white ones. I can't remember what they're called, but I see lots of collies.
Shelties?
Yes,
The little ones.
little
the little
Shelties.
ones. Now, are you seeing more purebreds or just good old-fashioned mutts?
I see lots of purebreds.
And do you think...
I'm a fan of purebreds only because of the teeth, because I've seen so many little chihuahuas come out with miniature pincher teeth because they bred a miniature pincher with a large chihuahua. And then this poor little chihuahua gets these large miniature pincher teeth.
What's the oldest dog that's lived, do you think? Oldest dog is an Australian cattle hound named Bluey. In human years, how old do you think he was? 32, 27, 30, or 29?
I'd say 30.
Very close, 29.
Oh, wow.
That's old for a dog.
That's old in human years because it depends on the size of a dog. If a dog is a small dog, they rate at 5 years to 1 human year. If a dog is a big dog, like say a lab, it goes 7 years to 1 person year. But little dogs progress slower. That's why a lot of people tend to get smaller dogs because they live longer.
That is true.
Like a bull mastiff, they max out at 7 years.
Well, my Doberman didn't even make it to his 7th birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, heart problems.
Too much work. The heart has to work too hard.
True or false, Dalmatians are born with spots?
Oh, false. False.
It is.
Oh.
Really? Now, are dogs like babies born with blue eyes and then they go change color?
Yeah. I don't know about that one.
All right. So we want to get people to get in touch with you, and it's very easy to do. You can go to PamperedPetsUltrasonic.com. What will you find on the website? Can you book an appointment on there? Or is it just an information?
On there, but there's information. There's there's a tutorial there on how to floss your dog's teeth. There's information there on all the products we carry and we use. There's a good source of information on the website. And there's a number there to contact me 24 hours a day.
Well, why don't you give it out?
It's 604-591-5020.
And you will look after the dog, or Tamara will look after the pet, right?
Yes.
So you're not getting some newbie off the street.
No.
Because that can happen in the grooming business. Some places will hire a new person and they're really not that skilled at a certain kind of cut on a dog. But when it comes to teeth, you got to know what you're doing.
Oh, and I've been studying this for years, so you have to get really. It took me 5 years to tell myself and to be able to say I'm the best. It's taken me that long to be able to say that, and the training is just a learning curve that is a job that you want to do, that you love. It's not a job.
Is this going to grow? Or are you going to be taking over the world with this?
I plan to take over the world one dog at a time.
And if maybe they remember to go to Bosley, can they get an appointment through them maybe, or do you have to go through you?
Bosley's gives out the pamphlets and then they call us.
Okay, so that's it. So you can walk into a Bosley as well.
Yes.
And get a pamphlet. It's a good way to go.
And we also last year we were featured on Dragon's Den, and we did a show on there, which will be probably airing in Dental Month for Pampered Pets, which is February and March.
Did they invest?
I can't say.
Oh, you're sworn to secrecy.
Yeah,
I look forward to that.
But it was an amazing experience.
Too bad Kevin O'Leary wasn't on that show anymore.
He would have scared me off.
Yeah, well, you could have maybe, cleaned his brain
Oh, something.
He's an angry man. Boomer Life, you're listening to it here on CL650. We've been talking all about Pampered Pets. Pampered Pets Ultrasonic is a great place to go, is PamperedPetsUltrasonic.com. Rhonda, it has been awesome having you on here. I've learned so much, and we'll have you back again soon. Boomer Life, you've been listening to it right here on CL650.